Hi everybody, how are you? Let's just wait for Facebook to kick in. So I'm going to get my lovely guest to squeeze in a little, as long as we're both in the screen, that's good. Hi everybody, welcome to yet another episode of Sydney Social Live, a one-of-its-kind, thought-provoking talk show where we put the spotlight on hidden realities of modern-day social circles here in Sydney. Now, why do I say hidden? Because these are issues that a lot of people are struggling with, but not enough people are talking about these, except of course us here at Sydney Social Live. Now, what is the purpose of the show? The purpose of the show is to put the spotlight on these issues, to spark important conversations, to foster positivity, and to promote a community that is accepting and non-judgmental. Now, you all know that each week I have a special guest who joins me on the show to talk about these topics. And today is a very, very dear friend of mine, a really special person, Mittu Gopalan. So please join me in welcoming Mittu. Mittu, thank you so much for joining me on the show.
Thank you, Nim, for having me. What an honor. Thank you. Much gratitude.
Now, are you excited? Because I am excited.
I'm not excited. I'm super excited. So thank you.
That is good. I like the sound of that. Now, Mittu for Sydney Siders does not need an introduction, Mittu. No matter what you say, you don't need an introduction, but we are going to read out a little bit just so that on the off chance that there might be someone who doesn't know about you, they get to know you a little bit better.
Sure.
So, Mittu Gopalan is a renowned practicing solicitor with over 25 years of experience in the legal profession. Mittu is a principal, solicitor and owner of Friedman and Gopalan Solicitors, a legal firm located in Sydney CBD. Friedman and Gopalan Solicitors prides itself in engaging its multicultural team to provide legal services to the community in a caring and respectful manner, with its mission and motive being people over profits. Mittu has developed expertise in the areas of family law, family provisions, claims, wills and debt recovery. With considerable experience and a pragmatic mindset, having graduated from Sydney University, Mittu's skills, empathetic nature, and being there to assist clients during their difficult times are qualities that are widely acknowledged. Wow! I mean, talk about multi-talented person. Aren't you amazing?
Of course not. You're too kind. Thank you so much, Nim.
This is amazing. So, Mittu, I've read out a little bit about you. You're, a public figure. You're in the public space. A lot of people know you. I'm sure there are things about your life that we don't know, especially the early years, maybe. So, can you tell us, our lovely audience, a little bit about those times in your life?
Of course. Thank you, Nim. I was born in a town called Calicut in Kerala. Way back a few decades ago. I was super blessed to be born to my parents, wonderful parents, late Mr. K.P. Dandapani and Sumiti Dandapani, my mom. Both obviously met in law school. They were uni sweethearts. They got married, they opened a firm, so they're both lawyers in the legal industry. My dad became a high court judge, subsequently an advocate general for the state, and then a senior legal counsel. Unfortunately, passed away a few months ago. My mom, however, is still working. She's amazing. She's such a trailblazer, and I think I would retire before my mom. She's incredible. My brother, Milu Dandapani, is also a lawyer in Cochin, which is where I grew up. And so, coming from a family of lawyers, I think I think justice and legal system was ingrained in my blood, my DNA. So that's all what I wanted to do, Nim. I just wanted to be an advocate in India or a solicitor here in Australia, as they call it. I went to a school called Bhavan's Vidya Mandir, and I owe everything to my parents and my teachers who had a role to play to groom to be the person that I am today in every way. As every child would do, I did nothing but studying and painting. And I love to cook, so I used to explore my talents there. And grew up doing all that. Was super blessed to be also born into a very big family. I've got 50 odd cousins.
Oh wow,
So,
that is amazing.
It is.
That is a true blessing.
It is a blessing. It's an incredible blessing, and especially when you know, all those amazing umpteen weddings and you know, events that you go and everyone's getting dressed up and all hullabulla happening. I do feel that my kids miss out on that looking back at the moment, but you know, it is what it is. So we, our generation, we're very blessed. So born into a big family, had a great time growing up, golden childhood. Got married at a very young age of 19.
Wow.
Yes, and then moved to Australia to join my husband Manoj in Sydney, and went to Sydney University, graduated from there, did law there, graduated from there, and have been working as a solicitor for the past 3 decades. That's pretty much who I am, where I'm from, and super grateful to everyone who has been part of my life thus far, and being very grateful to the universe, to the gods up there for all that I have actually got to and been able to experience and enjoy.
Also, it's all your hard work, your persistence, your resilience that has brought you to where you are. And I must say that Mittu has been a role model for so many people out there, and it's just you know, her mantras in life and how she conducts herself, I think, has been inspirational to a whole lot of people, and I'm sure our audience watching is going to agree.
Oh, thank you, Nim. And I should say, excuse me, I should say your book, A Diary of an Immigrant Bride, resonated with me so well because it actually took me back to the initial, exactly, the stories, each and everything. Oh my God, oh, I did that. Oh my God, I did that too.
It was so different back then, wasn't it?
Exactly.
I mean, the whole migrant space has changed ever since, but I'm glad you enjoyed. No, thank you for that. Mittu, one question is, you know, as a lawyer, solicitor, and you've come from a family of lawyers, you've seen this whole space close up. Now, if anyone watching us wants to become a lawyer someday, or a solicitor, you know, what is one piece of advice you'd like to give them?
I think it's a combination of mantras. So if I can actually stipulate the few ideologies or principles that I follow through Nim, one is definitely work hard. There's no shortcut to working hard. Hard work it is. So definitely working hard. Number 2, do not compromise your integrity. It comes with your brand label, because you know, whatever you do, whichever profession you are, that's not something worth compromising. Number 3, what I would say is always, you know, give back to the community in whatever way you can. Whether it's be financial or non-financial, always give back to the community. Australia has given me so much. So try and do something to return back to the community. The other principle that I follow is dream big. My dad always used to tell me that. Dream big, set your goals high. Like, you know what you want. No one else can do that for you. And work towards it, because Australia is a place which gives you a fair chance. So if you are prepared to put in your hard yards, go for it. And to the younger generation, what I would say is, please set your expectations, you know, a little realistic, because legal firms are not Suits and Ally McBeal or any of those episodes what they portray. The reality is slightly different, so please set your expectations a little low, boys and girls, and if you then are prepared to work hard, you will achieve the results.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because very often through media and, you know, the content we consume, we get a very distorted idea about industries and stuff like that. So I'm glad you've given a bit of dose of reality, so to speak. Before we jump into our topics, and I know we've got some very interesting topics, or what I like to call the chat-pata topics lined up for our audience, I just want to make sure that everyone knows that we love hearing from you. So please do say your highs and hellos and tell us which part of the world you're listening in from, because to believe it or not, we have people from all over the world tuning in. So that is very exciting. So say hi to us. And if you've got any questions for Mittu, please do let us know in the comment section, or if you want to share any insights, we welcome those comments. So keep that interactive option open. All right, so are we ready?
Absolutely.
Fabulous. So Mittu, this is one phenomenon that I have noticed happening in social circles in Sydney. You and I have both been to many social events, and we continue to do that, which means we have come across a lot of scenarios. and we've observed. I know you two are a keen observer of humanity. And one of the behaviors that I have noticed, and this is not something new, I'm sure it's been happening since time immemorial,
Right.
but it seems to have escalated nowadays, and I've observed a lot of that. It is what I call blow hot, blow cold behavior.
Right.
Okay, this is where people sometimes gush over you when you meet them, and at other times they just look through you.
Right.
Okay, so I know you've got some interesting insights on this. Is there something that you would like to add to this, or any observations you'd like to share?
Interesting that you brought this up, Nim, because you would think as you age, you would actually grow and people become wiser and a bit more level-headed. But what I seem to notice is that, especially for the social events, you walk in and wow, you hit off with someone and you're chatting and that's amazing, and you catch up, a quick 5-minute conversation. The very same person, when you go to another event, a week later or 2 weeks later, just sees past you. So you go, oh my God. And you're sort of saying,
Trying to wave.
Trying to wave. I'm like, what happened? I'm sure she saw me or he saw me. What's going on? And unbeknown to me, you just go, what just happened?
Yeah.
Why am I being ignored?
Yeah.
Did I do something wrong the last time I met this person, or did I say something wrong?
We tend to take it upon ourselves, right?
Exactly.
Like, okay, I must have done something.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you question your inner self and you go, what's going on?
Yeah.
But then, I think age is a good thing.
Yeah.
With time, I realize it's a they issue, it's a he issue,
Not
it's
an
a she
us
issue,
issue.
not a me issue, not an us issue. So stop overanalyzing me too. And also, the more I lean towards the universe and the manifestation and all that, I sort of tend to tell myself, well, it's a good thing
Yeah.
if they're doing this. A, you're getting a chance to understand them better.
Yeah.
And B, me to move on. There are more beautiful souls out there.
Absolutely.
You don't need to be spending more time and thought on these people.
I want to put it to the audience whether they have noticed this. So, hey friends, have you noticed this kind of behavior where sometimes you go to a social event and the person just gushes over you and he acts like your best friend, and then the next time you go somewhere, they don't even recognize you. They look right through you. Has that ever happened? And if so, I would love to ask you, and I'm about to ask Mittu as well, why do you think this happens? Why do you think people behave in this kind of manner? So think about that and let us know while I ask Mittu as well. Mittu, we're not psychologists, either of us. What do you think could be a reason people do this?
I don't know. The only reason I can think of is obviously, maybe at that particular event he or she didn't have anyone better, and on the next event they found someone better than me, or so they want to spend their quality time, and I respect that. But a smile or an acknowledgement wouldn't hurt. Hey, go speak to someone else. I don't have a problem with
Exactly.
that. But just an acknowledgement saying, hi, how are you? That's it, and walk past. No big deal. But don't have to walk past with yellow colored glasses thinking that I don't see you and you don't see me.
Which is not right. Someone said to me a very interesting thing the other day. They said that the reason for this kind of behavior can often be that some people are of a transactional mindset.
Right.
And I said, that sounds interesting. What does that mean? So basically it means that if they want something from you, they'll spend time with you.
Okay.
And if you no longer have any use, they don't want to say hello. So that's quite an interesting aspect as well, which I hadn't considered, which is...
Well, thank you, Nim. You are the life coach. Definitely, I will be bound by what you say. And also, you've written a couple of posts about it too. So that's so interesting. So it does happen in the society, and people are experiencing it. So love to
We
hear
wanted
about
to create this awareness, so Mittu and I, through this chat, want to create that awareness that a basic hi or so nice to see you, you don't have to spend time with that person, but to act as if you don't know them, whereas the week before you were gushing over that person, I think is something we really need to look inwards and reflect on. Maybe you're not doing it deliberately, maybe there could be a real reason, but if you develop a reputation as someone who's blow hot, blow cold, then it is quite unfortunate. We all go through mood swings, which is very understandable. There are times I don't want to talk to people, but there are certain elements of society who make it a habit, and that's what we're trying to put the spotlight on.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Fabulous. Okay, I'm glad we touched upon that topic because it is so important that we really need to put the spotlight on it. Now we come to a very interesting topic, and the key words itself are going to say what I'm going to talk about. So it's about freebies, discounts, all that kind of thing. Now I'm a life coach, and typically with life coaches, it's very rare for people to ask for discounts. It's the kind of industry where, you know, discounts is not the given thing.
Right.
Yet there are sometimes people who might ask me, what's your best price, or, you know, is this the best you can do, and stuff like that.
Right.
Now, I understand that for some people in certain parts of the world, that is a way of life. If you don't ask, you don't get, and I completely respect that. But there is a line that we need not cross. So what do you have to say? I mean, you are in the service industry as well as a solicitor. Ever face these kind of things?
Unfortunately, always, Nim. So yeah, when my team escalates, if for example a client calls and says they need to speak to me, so I know for sure, especially when the file is being looked after by someone else, some other solicitor in the firm, I know for sure it's about money. Or, you know, if it's a complaint, they would have easily emailed, or if they wanted to make sure something else needed to be addressed, they would have easily put that in an email.
Correct.
But if they want to speak to me, I know for sure, you know, antennas up, it's about money. Fine, fair. We call, I take the call, I call them back, and then that's when I get the question. I know, like, you know, it's about my conveyancing file. I'm buying a $4 million property, but can you give me a discount of $200? Is that okay? Okay, sure. What do you say?
Yeah.
What do you say? Exactly. You either know this client, because the community is quite small here in Sydney.
Yeah.
You either know the person, or you know someone who knows a person, and you know, you cringe and you go, oh my God, yeah. So you put in an awkward situation where, you know, ours, as you rightly said, is a service industry.
Yeah.
So it makes it that much harder for things to be actually, it's not a product. It's not like, I'm giving, you're buying a fridge and TV, I'll give you this amount.
Yeah.
It's every file that we deal with it has got something different in it. Of course, you know, for example, conveyancing is a standard procedure, but there might be something different, something that you've got to go outside the box for. But yeah, it's a standard question that we get asked all the time.
Also, I think people forget very often with service entrepreneurs that the fees we charge often reflect the years of studying, the years of qualifications, the work that goes behind it.
Absolutely.
And that is something also I wanted to create awareness through this discussion. Is that you might think that something is phenomenally charged, but there is a lot that goes behind the scenes.
Exactly, Nim, you said it, because, you know, the perception, for example, with the legal industries, oh my God, they charge a lot. You lawyers always charge a lot. But as you rightly said, there's a lot of work that comes along with that, plus the risk factor too. If something goes wrong, you know,
of course, the onus is on you.
Exactly, the onus is on us. We get sued, everything. So all the I's have to be dotted, T's to be crossed, made sure that everything is actually provided, the pros and the cons and the risk, so that the client can make an informed decision, which does take time.
Of course.
And with expertise comes advice, and that is what you're paying for at the end of the day.
I also want to mention here, while we are on the topic, that asking for a discount is one thing which we completely understand, right? Both of us understand the need to ask for a discount. It's okay. What I find is that the person's body language changes when you decline. When you are unable to give a discount for whatever reasons, then there is that resentment.
Yes.
You know, and that is something I wanted to talk about is, hey, ask, but if for whatever reason an entrepreneur is not able to give the price, you either go and find someone else, or at least be graceful about it.
Absolutely, but then again, what can you do?
Humanity, right?
Exactly.
Human nature.
Yes, exactly. That speaks volumes about your class and style.
Yes, yes. There's a comment here from Meena Sundar. So Meena, hi Meena, how are you doing? Meena says, I think the more we analyze human behavior, we tend to draw negative conclusions. Every action, best approach is just don't get close to anyone, and then it won't hurt. So Meena is basically saying, keep your expectations realistic. Don't get too close to people. Great point. Love it. Thank you for sharing that. That is awesome.
Thank you.
So the other thing is, when we're talking about high fees and stuff like that, you also do a lot of pro bono work.
Yes.
As a solicitor, which maybe a lot of people are not aware of. So, shed some light on that.
Okay, so lawyers have an ability to actually provide pro bono work. You don't have to do it, Nim, but as part of your giving back to the community. It's something that I vouch by. So X amount of hours per year, I ensure that our firm does pro bono work.
So maybe everyone doesn't know what pro bono means.
Yes. So pro bono work is where we actually provide either fees at a discounted rate or on a contingency basis, so no win, no fees, what probably you would have heard and known about, or where it's a completely free service that you're providing. So mostly the latter category is what you're talking about, or the last category, and that's what my firm would usually dedicate the time to. So, and part of that as well is what we provide, a consultation for free, an hour's worth of consultation for free for people who are going or contemplating separation, or unsure whether they should be going through, or oh yes, I am separated at the moment, so what do I need to be doing? I'm planning to go back to India, so what do I need to be doing? Do I need to do all this? What about my kids? So always happy to help. But unfortunately with that comes a territory of, it's all about, oh, it's a freebie, so I don't care, so it's like, I don't have to be prepared. Whereas we request, please come in with all the relevant paperwork, because so that we can provide you, we can serve you in the best possible manner, we can give you the best advice with the relevant information that we need, so that the appropriate, precise advice can be given. And that is where we think it's sort of taken as it's my right to walk in to get this, so you're here to serve and I will give you what I want. And it's that grey line that we always find it a bit difficult. So in order for us to best serve our clients, we request that to actually be a little
cognizant of time.
Exactly.
And when you respect someone's time, you respect them. Yeah,
exactly. Bingo. So it's a mutual win-win relationship, and then we want to be serving you more, because it's a long, arduous journey, because going through a divorce, separation, it's the worst.
It's a complex.
Absolutely. It's you're in the worst possible scenario, and we're there to hold your hand. But to help us hold your hand, you need to tell us what can we do to help you get there.
So meet halfway at least.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I know this sort of links to the whole time management thing that we were going to talk about. Was there anything else you wanted to talk in terms of the fact that a lot of people don't respect time as a concept? And I think this sort of talks about it, where they come in unprepared and don't really respect your time. I've noticed that time is this fluid concept, and we tend to joke about it, it's stretchable time and all of that. But there is an element of seriousness to it which people need to take into consideration, particularly in the service industry.
And especially, if you're going to a doctor, if you go to a doctor without or a specialist without your x-rays and without your blood reports and without your CT scans, the specialist cannot give you the right advice. Similarly, the lawyer, we need to see the documents, we need to see exactly what transaction happened. Okay, if $10,000 has been transferred, we need to see the bank statements. It's as simple as that. So we need documentation to corroborate your position, understand why this happened, to whom was it made, all those things.
Yeah. So it's not really rocket science, it's just about thinking, what are some things I will need before I go and see Mittu, for example, and having that paperwork ready, so that, and like we were talking, even if they get that 1 hour pro bono with you, for example, just having the homework done is going to get you to leverage that time in the best manner possible.
Absolutely. So that we can serve the community better.
Exactly. Yeah. No, that's a very, very important point. So thank you for that. While we're talking about service industry and service entrepreneurs, have you noticed that people like doctors, lawyers, coaches, if people bump into us at dinner parties, there is this tendency for some people, a very small section of society, to quickly ask for some professional advice in a very, very non-professional setting.
I've had that. Yeah, I understand. People are going through a lot.
Yeah.
Obviously your issue or your whatever's happening in your life is the most important and most urgent, because I can never understand why. I'll have calls coming in Friday 8 p.m. I need a divorce. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry, but I can't do anything on a Friday night. Can we at least speak about it on Monday? Because nothing's going to change unfortunately between Friday and Monday.
Yeah.
Similarly, at a dinner party, when someone walks over and there's loud music in the background, and I was struggling to listen to this person, and I'm like, I'm sorry. So did you say they married. So where did they move? Your friend's daughter. So like, yeah,
it's just awkward on all counts.
All counts, and plus, it's
there's a time and a place for everything, right? So
you're not in that headspace.
Yeah.
You're not in that. Yeah, and then my partner was waiting for me to finish dinner so we could actually leave, but so it's so many different angles. So the right thing would be to actually say, please, when can I talk to you? I'm always happy to make time for others, but there's a time and a place, as you rightly said.
Also, it is the bread and butter, right? This is the way service entrepreneurs make their money. This is their work. So to get free advice at dinner parties, I think is something perhaps, we really need to consider. Are we doing it without realizing it? Because I've often seen doctors being sort of stopped as they're going to serve themselves dinner and saying, oh, I've got this ache here and what should I do? Whereas that could have easily be done after they take an appointment and go about it the professional way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I thought we should, need to talk about that here as well. So just something, and look, we all may be doing it without realizing it, and the purpose of the show is not to point fingers. The purpose of the show is to create awareness. Are we doing this? Are we guilty of this? And then just to do a bit of self-reflection.
Absolutely. And also, I'm sure even like when you're sitting on a table, you say, how about the tax cuts? Oh, blah, 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 the budget's come down. So, you turn to your financial planner on the table and go, so what do you think? The poor person is trying to have his or her dinner. And
the gulab jamun and all that is not even going down the throat because now they have to think of some professional advice. So the setting is all wrong, the timing is all wrong. All right, so that brings us to the last topic of the day, which is a funny one.
Okay.
And this is about selfies.
Oh, okay.
And the obsession with selfies nowadays. Any observations on that count about what's happening in the world of selfies?
I think Sydney has to be the place where, or maybe I'm getting it wrong, people love selfies.
Yeah.
Love it, which is great. And don't get me wrong, because I love my photos as well.
Of course, I do too.
My kids cringe because I'm always taking photos and they go, please stop, Mars, please. But on the other hand, selfies at social events is probably where, we are talking about. And that's a little... Yeah, it's stretching it, I feel, and especially in this day and age, it's all about taking photos with who's who and making sure it's uploaded on social media.
Within 30 seconds.
30 seconds. And then I always wonder, what is it? Is it for your business reasons? I understand totally, because there's a purpose and the whole networking is all about business. But on the other hand, is it validation? Is it self-validation? What are you trying to achieve? And then there are times when we take a selfie and then they don't even say have a conversation. No. So I'm like, I'd rather have a conversation with you, but anyway.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I don't like my right side. I like my left side better. So would you mind taking? And I'm like, I don't even know this phone. I don't even have my glasses on.
Yeah.
So you're going, okay, I rather prefer, I'm from, I think.
Old school,
yes.
Me too. Somebody actually made a very interesting comment once and they said, these kind of big bustling events are not the place to have meaningful conversations.
Okay.
So the idea is not about meaningful conversations, the idea is just about making human connection.
Exactly.
Isn't it? It's not that you're going to sit there and have a soul-to-soul conversation. Yeah. But just some basics. Hi Mittu, it's been 6 months since we last spoke. What's new in your life? Even if we can get that, what do you think?
Absolutely, I totally agree, and especially because I've just come back into the social gatherings after a few months, and there's etiquettes, there's professionalism, there's so many things that you need to be wary of from a community perspective. And to be saying, hi, let me take a photo so I can, and then I've even had people saying, I should get a selfie with, so and so that my likes increase. And I'm like, seriously? Okay.
It's the world of likes. The more likes you get, the more valid you are in this universe.
Apparently.
So the reason we talk about this is just to create a sense of awareness about how many selfies are enough. Okay. Right? So let's just decide, okay, I'm going to have these selfies and I'm going to then devote some time to having a good conversation. Right? So I think the more we start thinking like that, and you're never going to look perfect in any photo anyway, right? No matter how much you try, there's always going to be a wrong side.
Exactly, Nim, exactly. No, well said. There should be a right balance.
There should be.
And what I worry always, I can say this from a legal perspective, when you take people with others in the background, and when you post that without their permission, that's a whole
bit
lot.
tricky.
Yeah, exactly. So I always worry about that more than anything else.
I can see the lawyer in you.
That's
But
right.
it's a very important point, and a lot of people do take these things seriously, and look,
Quite
so
seriously.
rightly
Rightly
so.
so, you know.
So to each their own. So yeah, that's an
Exactly.
important point to keep in mind as
To
well.
respect each other's privacy, because maybe that person haven't told their employer or partner that they're
Exactly.
coming to this event, and I'm like,
Or they say I'm on a sickie and then they're out partying, you know.
exactly.
So yeah, that's a
So
bit scary.
There's a lot of complication
Yeah,
issues
yeah.
involved. But,
Fair
you know.
enough. So we've had some really interesting topics discussed. So thank you for that. Now that brings me to my final rapid fire round, where I'm going to ask you some very quick questions,
Right.
and you have to try and give quick answers.
I'll try.
Yeah? Are we ready for the challenge?
Absolutely.
Let's do a high five on that. All right. So Mittu, flats or high heels?
Flats.
Really?
Yes.
You glamorous fashionista that you are?
Always have flats. I've got to get back home and get going. The day doesn't end. So I've got to keep going.
Flats, okay.
Thank you.
Movies or books?
Depends. I love audible books and movies.
Okay,
Yeah.
audible books. That's
Yes.
interesting. I haven't tried that yet, but
Because I'm
so
tired.
this is
by
when
the
you're
time I
driving
come-
or something?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. I'm tired of reading all the time at
Yeah,
work,
yeah,
and so
yeah.
I just want to switch off. I don't want to read anymore. And audible books, the voice is mesmerizing.
It's a
takes me-
godsend.
Yes. So
Yeah.
I know it doesn't fall within your realm of things.
No, no, but that's good. It's something I want to try someday. All right, are you a night owl or a morning person?
Definitely night owl.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, so you come awake after sunset pretty much. I'm the exact opposite.
Is that right?
Yeah, after 7 p.m., my batteries are down.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm very much a morning person.
Well, I've seen your coffees with sunrise.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and-
Totally,
yeah,
totally.
That's beautiful.
Sunrise is my time of the day.
Lovely.
So, what's your definition of a fun Friday night?
With family, in PJs, chatting about the week, catching up, and having some takeaways.
Nice. So, no partying, loud music, dance, none of that. So, not your scene.
Definitely not my scene, my dear.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you for a very difficult choice that you have to make.
Okay.
Okay, this is a tough one.
Right.
I know it's going to be hard.
Okay.
Okay, puttu or dosa?
Putta, 365 days. a
Is
year.
it?
Yes.
Okay. So tell us a little bit, because before I chatted with you, I wasn't sure what putta is. So can you tell our viewers a little bit about what it is?
Definitely. So putta is a steamed rice cake that Kerala, the state of Kerala offers. It is delicious. So please go try it if you haven't.
Okay.
And if you want me to make some for you, more than happy to, because I vouch that it is the best dish that Kerala can offer, and I can have it morning, night, and for dinner.
Wow.
365 days of the year.
And I can vouch that Mittu is an amazing chef. She's a really good cook, right? So she
Too
means
kind.
serious business when she's cooking. She's really good at it.
You're too kind. Thank
It's
you.
all the truth. So, all right. What's your favorite cuisine?
There's nothing favorite. I love food, so anything and everything goes. So there's nothing favorite. I would say any good.
All cuisines are
Yes,
fine with you.
Absolutely.
Okay. And lastly, is there a favorite go-to restaurant in Sydney that you would talk about?
Yes, my good friend Dr. Jasal introduced me to Khao Pla next to Woolies in Macquarie Shopping Centre.
Okay.
Amazing Thai place.
Is
You
it?
should try it.
What's it called?
Khao Pla. I hope I'm actually
No, no.
pronouncing it right.
Khao
Khao
Pla.
Pla.
Okay, and this is at Macquarie.
Macquarie Shopping Centre next to Woolies. So
Okay.
it's beautiful, it's spicy, and it's amazing. I think that's my favorite go-to Thai at the moment.
Okay.
And then there's another Italian place in Surrey Hills called Pasta Amelia.
Okay.
Definitely worth recommending.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fabulous. So if
Definitely.
any of those are watching, hello, big shout out to you.
Exactly. Please do go try that.
I would love to. I'm going to make a note of this. That's a good thing about Sydney Socialite. Every guest tells me a nice place to go to, and
Okay.
I've got this long list of restaurants that are
Nice.
on my to-visit list. So that's
Excellent.
great. So Mittu, that brings us to the end of a very nice conversation. Is there anything, any last words or anything you want to share with our audience?
I would just say definitely, always live your life with informed choices, with wise decisions that you have to take, because it all comes down to choices and decisions that your life revolves around those two.
Yeah.
And then, keep your good friends close to you, family or friends, whoever your tribe is. Keep them close to you, keep them tight, because you need them to get through it all, ups
Yeah.
and downs.
Yeah.
And, for a woman, definitely be financially independent, because that definitely helps you have choices in life. So,
Yeah.
which means that, God forbid, if something happens in your life, you can take the right call. So yeah, that's what I would
Yes,
say.
so important to be financially independent. It makes a whole lot of decisions much easier. Yeah.
Much easier, whether it's a crisis that's happened overnight or it's something that's, taken a toll in a different way.
Yeah.
You have choices to make, as opposed to being stuck on two things and issues in life. So yeah, and Australia is a place where you can have a great life.
Yes.
As immigrants, we've all had it. If you prepare to put in the hard work, the country rewards you.
For sure, I love it. Well, thank you so much for shedding a light on some very, very pertinent topics that a lot of people are struggling with, and I'm sure your wisdom is something a lot of people are going to take away from this show, and I truly appreciate you in your very busy schedule, because I know how busy you are. So I appreciate you coming and joining me on the show.
Thank you so much, Nim, for having me, and you're such a beautiful person, you're such an influencer in the society, and love all your posts. Thank you so much. Keep them rolling. Keep sprinkling your magic dust everywhere you go. And I also wanted to say a big thank you to Ash and Shipra for all this amazing setting here.
Yes.
Because, there's a team behind everything and all the hard work that you put in, Nim.
Yeah.
So thank you, and thank you everyone for watching.
Thank you, and thank you for sharing a slice of your Sunday with us, like I always love to say. Take care, enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.
See ya.